Hi everybody, I'm Joey Paul and I'm an indie author, and today we're doing another tea talk. Basically, I want to talk about a subject that's talked about a lot and I feel like needs to be talked about more, and that is comparison and jealousy. As a writer, you are going to meet people who are further along in their journey than you, and you're going to meet people who are doing better than you in their journey, and that's just the facts. It doesn't matter who you are, there is always going to be one person who is ahead of you. It's just the way it works. And one thing I think happens in the indie author community as well as the traditionally published community is that there is a lot of jealousy and comparison, like, oh, I wish I was doing as well as this person because their social media says they do this, this and this. And I get that on a deep level. I get that. I have moments like that myself. I'm only human. But I think something we need to talk about is that we need to stop doing that. When you talk about comparison, there are other Authortubers who do better than me. There are other authors out there who are doing better than me, and that's okay because they're on their journey. I'm on my journey, and my journey takes as long as it takes. It's one of the reasons why that saying is so important to me, that it takes as long as it takes, and that's okay because everybody is going at a different pace. Everybody is reaching the same goal as such, and even then, the goal isn't always the same. For some writers, they want to reach bestseller status. For other writers, they want to just be able to earn enough to work full time as an author. Other writers want this or that or the other. It's all different because we're all different people. On top of that, I wanted to broach the subject of social media. Social media is an amazing tool as an author, as a writer. It's just super awesome about getting the word out there. But it also has that problem of showing you what other authors and other writers are doing, and sometimes that can plant that little seed of jealousy and make you feel like shit, basically. But what you have to remember is that social media is the highlights reel. I think Bethany Atazaya said it best, which is basically that you only post the stuff that you want people to see. You generally don't post about the failures or the times when things haven't gone right. You don't post about those because you don't want to dwell on them or advertise them. So when you're looking at other people's social media, when you're looking at an author you admire and you're thinking, wow, I wish I could get to that level, sometimes what you're only seeing is the highlights reel. They're going to have bad days. They're going to have days when they feel like they can't write. They're going to have days when they struggle with the words, and they're going to have days when they struggle full stop. Everybody is different and everybody is on their own path, and because of that we can't really compare. It's like comparing apples to oranges. I personally am on a different path to any other author out there. We may have similar goals, we may have similar wants, but we're not the same. We're doing this our way and we're doing it differently. And one thing that is big about this comparison is social media, because like I said, you look at it and you think, I wish I was doing as well as so-and-so, and what you don't see is maybe that so-and-so has done things differently, or they've worked really, really, really hard to get to that point, and what we should be feeling is pride and happiness that they've reached their goal. I know it's not as easy as sort of like flipping a switch and saying, well, from now on I'll only feel proud for my friends, because that's not how it works. But you should be realizing that there's no reason to be jealous of other writers. There's no reason to feel like other writers are the enemy, because that's not how writing works. Basically, think about it this way. There are billions and billions of books out there, and there are billions of people out there. A person doesn't read one book for the rest of their life. They don't just read one. Like, if so-and-so reads one book, it doesn't mean they're never going to read another book. Majority of readers read dozens in a year, some even more so. So that doesn't mean that just because they bought so-and-so's book that they won't buy yours. And even if they don't buy yours, you should still be pleased that your friends, that your author community, your writing community are reaching their goals. That's something to be proud of. That's something to jump in and say, yay! I personally went through a process recently where I was hoping to reach a goal. I won't say what goal because this is one of the down points of my career and I don't want to talk about it too much. But I was hoping to reach a goal I didn't reach the goal, but a lot of people I knew did. And it was hard to go through their posts and write congratulations. And it was hard to see all these people doing this goal that I had failed to get. And it sucked. It sucked for me. But at the same time, I didn't sit there and go, well, they all suck, so I don't like them anymore, because they're my friends. They are people who have cheered me on when I've had down breaks. They are people that have cheered me on when I've achieved, when they haven't. And that's what it's about in the author community. It's about give and take. It's about being proud of other people's achievements. It's about being proud of what they've managed, and basically just letting them have their moment without me sort of bitching about it. And I'm not bitching about it now. I'm using it as an example to show you that as much as it was hard to write congratulations, I did not feel excitement for them. I felt very excited for them. I was sad for myself, but I was excited for them. And that's a big thing that you have to, I think, to have, is that knowledge that while I was jealous of them. I didn't let that stop my joy for them at the same time. Writing can be very isolating. If you don't have a writing circle, then it can be very, very isolating. And for a long time I didn't have that, and it was only really when things like Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that became part of my life, my everyday life, that I found that writing circle. And I have a small writing circle right now, but it's small, but the people in it cheer me on, I cheer them on, and I feel like I have people who get me. And that's what you want, is you want this writing group who get you, but you also want to know that when they have achievements that you maybe don't have yet, it's not a reason to think badly of them. As I said, comparison is a bitch to deal with, because it's something that personally I really struggle with. It's something that I struggle with because I'm always comparing myself to somebody else and thinking, well, if I could do what so-and-so's done, then I would be better at this or that. But it's something I'm working with. It's something I'm working on, because I know it's not the way it works. I know that in any type of job, whether it's authors or doctors or artists, especially creative jobs, so less so on the doctors, more on the artists, there's going to be people who do better than you and who get more likes than you, who get more views than you, who make more sales than you, etc, etc. And I guess it's about being happy that those people in your group get that, they make it, they get to do that. That's something to be proud of, that's something to be happy for, that's something to feel joy for. But I think getting lost too much in the idea that because you didn't get there first, it's therefore a point to be upset about, is kind of something we need to let go of. I've been an author for many, many years, and I did it alone for a long time before I found my writing community, as I said. And having that community has changed the way I do things, because before it felt quite isolating, and in being isolating, it felt like no matter what I did, I wasn't going to get the support I needed. It was very disheartening. And I guess when I found that group, even though there were moments of me thinking, well, if I compare myself to, but you have to stop that kind of thinking. You have to retrain your brain to basically look at people not as competition, but as fellow writers on the same path as you. Their goals may be different from you, their outcomes may be different from you, but that doesn't mean that they're any less reason to be happy about it. And the jealousy side of things, I think it's natural, but I think hiding away from it, I think some people have said that you should just unfollow if you get jealous. I don't think that works, because it doesn't deal with the root of the problem, which is that you need to be okay with the fact that people are going to achieve things either you haven't or can't or won't, etc. And you also have to remember, again, that social media is a highlights reel. People post what's good in their life, what their highlights are. They don't post every moment. So yeah, basically you need to quit with the comparisons, work through your jealousy, and accept that everybody's on a different path and everybody's doing this wonderful journey of being an author differently, and that's okay. And my little saying, it takes as long as it takes, and that's okay. Just remember that, and yeah, keep going. So that's all I have time for today. If you want to get in touch with me, you can comment or subscribe. I post new videos on Thursdays, and sometimes I post them on Sundays too. You can find me all over social media, and my books are available everywhere, all the links to which are listed below. Thanks for watching, and remember to keep writing. Bye.